delicious Singapore hawker food at Hong Lim Food Centre. Welcome to another food adventure with Getting Lost. We are here today to do another ultimate food guide, and this time for Hong Lim Food Centre, a food centre with a long history and also a long list of good food to eat. So join me after the intro as I will introduce you to all the good food that you should eat here at this food centre, which will appear after the intro. Welcome back, and this week what we're going to do today is we're going to do another ultimate food guide for Hong Lim Food Centre. This food centre is one of the first few hawker centres that was established in the Chinatown area, and it was built way back in 1978. It's located on Upper Cross Street, and it's in a very unique area where you have nestled within the housing estate under HDB blocks, and then it's also nearby pre-World War II shophouses, and also right next to tall skyscrapers that are in the central business district. So like its location, it also has a wide variety of food to offer to people who wants to eat hawker food and street food, and this place here will spoil you with the amount of choices of good food that you can eat here. And one of the unique places you can find here is this shop here called Teo Heng Porridge Stall, and here they sell Teochew porridge. This place here is at one corner of the food centre, out of the way place. You would miss it if you do not look for it. And here is what you get: basic dish, a lightly seasoned dish called Teochew porridge. But what you can choose is, when you go to the counter there, you can choose different types of items to eat together with your Teochew porridge. Here, as you can see, there's pork belly, there's also a bit of duck, and what they do really well here is what they call seasoned egg. So you have a nice egg with the center still nice and runny. And of course, the price here will depend on the items that you choose. The more items you choose, the more meat items you choose, the higher the price. You can also get whole steamed fish to be sold to you too. This dish, if I'm not mistaken, cost me around $7.50. But this dish here, I've eaten at an earlier time. It's also very interesting. You have squid at the bottom there, and then you also have stuffed dao pork with meat, and then you also have the pork belly on top there together with the seasoned egg. All this you eat together with porridge. All the different ingredients cooked nicely, cooked well, just that do not expect bold flavors. The flavors are a bit more mild, and the price is also quite expensive. Like here, it cost me almost $11 to eat this dish here with all the different items. But once in a while, you indulge yourself, you eat something more expensive, something lighter on your palate. Another cheap and good food that you can find here at this food centre is, you can actually get it from this store here, which is called Xing, homemade fishball meatball noodle. And here they sell a dish that's available in most food centres called fishball noodles. At this particular shop, they actually specialise in making soup version of this dish. You also can have it dry, but here they specialise in making the soup version because the soup that comes together with these noodles is really good. When you taste the soup, you can taste the taste of the fishball that they use to cook in the soup, and also a slight preserved vegetable taste. And also the price will depend on the size of the noodle dish you choose. The noodles here that I chose is Kway Teow, which is the flat rice noodle. You can also choose egg noodles or even bihun, which is thin rice noodles. And the soup you get with this noodle has a very healthy and homey feel to it. Very, very good, delicious, especially for those days when you're not feeling well, on sick days or on rainy days. It's very delicious. Then the fish balls here are handmade, which means they are actually softer than those you get from the factory, but has a bite to it. And the meatballs here, when you bite into meatballs, you know that it's not made fully of meat. You also mix some of the fish paste into it, but it's still super flavorful when you bite right into the middle of it. It's super delicious, and something that you should come here to try, which is cheap and good and delicious. We have now gone to another corner of Hong Lim Food Centre to look for this shop called Cantonese Delights. This shop is one of my favorite shops to eat at this food centre, and that's because they make mainly noodles, and they make noodles well at an affordable price. During lunchtime, there's actually a long queue for their food, and they will keep selling until they sold out of the ingredients. One of the items you can get here is this dish, which is called Char Siu Wonton Noodles. Char Siu means the barbecue pork that you see on top there. Wonton is the dumplings on the side, and noodles, which is the egg noodles you see at the bottom there. This dish cost me $3.50, and the noodles, as you can see, is very simple and basic noodles. Texture wise, just okay, but they just put it underneath there, season it with just soy sauce, a very simple dressing. Taste wise, it's just average. The barbecue pork or the char siu doesn't have any char flavor to it. The wontons are quite nice and meaty. The noodles is just a very simple, together with soy sauce, a very simple dish. But the next few dishes is what I really like from that stall. The first item here is the curry fried chicken cutlet noodles. Here you have the same noodles as you get in the wonton noodles, which is the egg noodles, but poured on top of it is a very delicious, very good, very thick, rich, coconutty curry sauce that somehow grabs onto all the ingredients, and it only costs you $4. And the $4 also include the chicken cutlet on top there. The chicken cutlet fried until it's still crispy, and it grabs, when you eat it, it grabs onto the curry sauce. So does the noodles, and you eat it together, it grabs all the curry sauce. When you put it into your mouth, you get the full flavor of all the curry and ingredients in your mouth. Wow, this is a very good and delicious, one of my favorite meals here, especially if you like curry. Another item they sell here is also this item here, which is called curry chicken noodles. They also serve it together with rice, but here I actually chose egg noodles. So first of all, it is a really, really good chicken curry. Rich, spicy, coconutty, and you can tell that they use a chicken flavored broth for the base of the curry. The noodles here cooked a bit soft, but somehow that softness of the noodles go very well with the creaminess of the curry, and it only costs you $4.50 for a big piece of chicken over there. The chicken piece there is huge, and it's soft and tender and coated nicely by the delicious curry, and when you bite into it, it gives you such a delight, just like the name of the shop, Cantonese Delights. Lastly, the dish that actually made me love this shop is this dish here called Laksa Yong Tau Foo. You have a very sweet, strong, rich, coconutty curry with a taste of like dried prawn as the finish of the curry. It's rich, savory, slightly thick and so tasty, and goes also very well together with the noodles. The noodles also still slightly firm, but yes, is penetrated by the taste of the curry. The bean sprouts here also cooked perfectly well. It is cooked truly, but still crunchy. And then you have also all the different pieces of yong tau foo, which is good and goes very well with the curry, especially the tofu pieces, where it's very good because the curry actually penetrates into the tofu, so it retains its own taste and also complemented by the curry itself. Overall, one of my favorite dishes here. If you do come to this food center, this is definitely one of the items you must try here, because this is one of the best laksa yong tau foo I've eaten in Singapore. And if you're looking for a snack, you can find a snack here at this shop here called Tanglin Crispy Curry Puff. And this shop here sells curry puff. Curry puff is actually a pastry where you stuff in like meat and egg into a pastry, and that's the curry puff you can see on the picture. Before they renovated, it only cost you $150. Now it actually increased to $170 per piece. But you see, the uncle actually freshly cooks the curry puff at the store. So there are two types. There are the normal chicken curry and also the sardine. For me, I would prefer this chicken curry, and you can also look, the skin here is nice and crispy, has a nice crunch to it, you know. And also the reason why I prefer the chicken curry is chicken curry has a better flavor to it of the potato and the curry and the chicken inside, whereas the sardine is just like they just add in sardine as an afterthought to the original recipe. So I felt that the original recipe of the chicken one, which is on top there without the red dot, is much nicer, much more complete flavor to it than the sardine, because the sardine taste is actually lost in the curry puff. Anyway, so buy the chicken curry puff. And if you're still a bit peckish, you want another snack, you can always come here to this shop here called Hong Lim Dumplings. And here they sell traditional Chinese dumplings. So you have the traditional Hokkien dumplings with meat and mushroom and salted egg inside there, which cost you I think around $4. Or alternatively, you can get the Nonya dumpling, which is a minced meat, but it's sweetened minced meat inside, which only costs you $3.30. So the prices of the dumpling will depend on the type of dumpling you choose. For me, what I suggest you to try is, instead of taking the Hokkien one, which I actually ordered from this store previously, and here you can see they are actually making it fresh at the store. This store is actually hidden in another corner, so they actually make dumplings at another store and sell it on the second floor. So if you do want to buy the dumplings, you can head up to the second floor to buy the dumplings. But like I said earlier, when I tried to buy the Hokkien dumplings was a bit undercooked. So, but the Nonya one was perfectly fine, done very well, very delicious. So I would advise you to actually get the Nonya dumplings. So what's the difference? Okay, so once you actually open up the leaves, you can see this is the Hokkien one, and on top is the Nonya one. So the main difference is when you cut them open, you'll see that the Hokkien one has a wide variety of items. You have pork, then you have salted egg yolk. You have different types of items in there, but unfortunately the day when I bought this, it was actually a bit undercooked, so they didn't do it very well. Taste wise was just average. For me, I would have preferred, if you want to eat Hokkien dumplings, go to the one at Hong Lim Food Centre. It's more expensive, but they do it much better. And this is what I said, the Nyonya one, which is, like I said, minced meat, and it's sweet. So you have the gooey glutinous rice outside there. You have nice candied meat, minced meat, pork meat inside. Something very interesting that I doubt that you have tried before. So if you want something different, try the Nyonya, which is on top there, the Nyonya dumpling, which they don't sell at Hong Lim Food Centre, but they do sell it here, so you should try it. Come here and try it. It's something different that you have not tasted. And like I said at the beginning of the video, there's just too many good food here at this food center for me to cover in just one video. So join me for part 2, which is coming up soon. And in part 2, what I would cover is, I would cover some of the stalls, the food stalls that made Hong Lim Food Centre one of the better food centers in Singapore. So join me for that, you won't want to miss it. So before you go, please do me a favor. Please help me by liking my video, sharing my video, and also subscribing to my channel. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it if you do. And lastly, but the most important thing, the thing that you must do is to join me for my next food adventure. See you then. Bye bye.